Under certain conditions, JavaScript will attempt to convert data from one type to another without you having to explicitly convert it. We call this type coercion. The first example I want to show you is concatenation. The plus operator in JavaScript can be used for two things. It can be used to add numbers together, or it can be used for concatenation, which is combining strings. So let's take a look at this example. We have a string, sector, and a number, 7. We'd like to combine those together into a single phrase. Because sector is a string, JavaScript will automatically convert 7 into a string when it combines them together. Let's give it a try. I'm going to create a new variable called full sector address. And I'm going to take sector text, put a space between them, and then add on the sector number. Let's log this. We can see the final value, and also let's log the type of it so that you can see that the entire thing is in fact now a string. Let's run the file. And we see sector 7 and string. So you can count on that plus symbol working as concatenation once a string is detected. With other math operators, JavaScript favors numbers. It will try to convert a string to a number if possible. Let's see this in action. We're going to take these two variables here and calculate the remaining distance. So I'll create a new variable and subtract one from the other. And then let's log that new variable as well as its type. Okay, we see 600 and the type is number. So while the first one had a value of 1,000 as a string and the second one had a number value of 400, JavaScript was able to say, okay, I see a minus sign, so let's see if I can convert this into a number from a string. And it did, because if it's a regular number, it can convert it directly, no problem. Now let's do one more example. This time we're going to do some multiplication just to show that that works as well. I'm going to create a new variable here for doubling our oxygen. And we'll just say 2 times the oxygen level. I'll print my new variable and also print its type. Okay, so let's run it. And we see that we get 120, which is 2 times 60. So even though 60 was a string, JavaScript was able to convert it successfully and multiply it times 2, and we ended up with a total of 120. As you can imagine, not everything can be converted directly. Sometimes you will have errors that happen if you don't account for the fact that sometimes strings can't be converted directly into a number. JavaScript might try to coerce them, but it doesn't work out. Here's a good example. We have a string that has not just a number, but also some text as part of the string. So let's try it and just see if we can make it work, right? We're going to take the average mass per cargo hold here. So I'll create a new variable. And try to divide them. Let's just log it and see what happens. We get not a number. So the best that JavaScript was able to do is to say, I tried converting that to a number because you used a division symbol, but it's not a number. So that's what you end up with. Now, notice it didn't cause the program to crash. That's a good thing. That's one of the reasons that not a number exists. But it's not what we were looking for, and it probably would have made something go wrong in your application, depending on what you were trying to accomplish. So in this case, let's see how we can fix it. This is where explicit conversion comes in, and you've already learned how to do that. Sometimes you need to use explicit conversion on purpose to handle situations like this, and then the implicit conversion can take place as expected. So I'll create a new variable here. I'm just going to make it a little shorter. I'm going to use parse int. You may recall that that's something you can use anytime you have a string that has a number at the front, in this case, an integer specifically at the front, but it might have some additional text after it. It can pull that number out of it. Okay. So I can do this and it's going to return a number, but something I'd like to do is to make sure that kilograms actually is on the end and turn it back into a string. So I can do everything all at once. I'm going to explicitly convert total cargo mass into a number so that I can divide it by the number of cargo holds. And then this entire thing, I'm going to concatenate with space kg, just like that. And that means it'll all come together with the correct number and have kilograms on the end. And maybe that's what I ultimately needed. So this is a nice way to do it all in one line. And just to show that this is a string now, we'll go ahead and log the type as well. Okay, so we see 4,000 kilograms and string. All right, so these are several different situations where you can see that JavaScript will do the work for you, and that can be really handy, but it also can cause errors if you don't have values that you expect. So just watch out for that, and just make sure you either explicitly manage your conversions or plan for the implicit conversion to be bulletproof. And so the last thing I need to do is to make a commit, and I'm going to follow a good procedure here to make sure everything's staged, and of course, commit with a message. Completed coercion demo. Okay, the last thing is for you to take a look at this practice over here. This practice encompasses all 4 of the demos that I've done on strings, numbers, booleans, and implicit conversion, also known as type coercion. I recommend that you take some time to go through these and get some practice in and make sure you understand the implications of these things, because as you are planning your code and problem solving in the future, having a good handle on this is really going to be helpful for you. All right, that's it. I will see you in the next one.